welcome to the brand new 4th generation BMW X3. Now the X3 is a very important car for BMW. It was their best selling model last year with nearly 1,000 sold every single day. So this new one has got rather big boots to fill, and I think it's filled them rather well. Now, I've already done an in-depth walk around of this car, so if you want to see that video, use the link in the top of the screen to check that one out. Today is more about how this car drives. How does it feel? How does it feel compared to the last one? What does this 20, the entry-level engine choice, feel like? This is the 20 petrol. I'm still kind of getting used to not saying the 20i. It kind of rolls off my tongue naturally just to say, oh, this is the 20i. But the range has changed. So now we've got the 20, the 20D, which still has the D after the name, obviously to show that it's a diesel. Actually, one of the only diesel engines that you can now buy. We've then got the hybrid, and then we've got the full-fat M50, which is the top of the range with the 6-cylinder, 3-litre petrol engine producing just under 400 horsepower. Which, I mean, we'll drive that one as soon as we can. But let's focus on this one. So, this 20 petrol, I nearly said 20i again, this 20 petrol has just over 200 horsepower. It's a mild hybrid as well, so there is a little bit of electrical assistance on there, but it's not a full plug-in hybrid. You can't plug this car in at all. Instead, that mild hybrid system is there to aid in fuel economy and give a little bit more of a boost to the power. But yeah, this is your pretty much entry level. This car is an M Sport as well, finished in this glorious new fire red paintwork. I think it's, yeah, I mean, I think it looks fantastic. It's almost like an iX and an X3 have merged together to create this new car. It got different daytime running lights. It's got a different grille with the iconic glow, which might not be to everybody's taste, but I think it looks great. It's a much cleaner design, I think, along the side as well. It really isn't an overload of creases. It's much smoother, much more elegant, and I really love the rear with those really just crisp, beautiful rear tail lights. But anyway, enough of that. We'll touch on the interior in a minute. But how does it drive just as a daily? I mean, this is not an M Performance model, so we don't really need to push it. But of course, we will sort of talk about what it's like when you do start to crack on a little bit shortly. I mean, it's a freezing cold day here in the UK, and I apologise about the sun, because obviously it's currently November. The sun is very, very low, and on a bright day like this, it's just impossible to avoid coming into the cabin and, well, obscuring your view. But anyway, what's it like? Well, initially when you jump in, the driving position is absolutely spot on. You feel nice and high and elevated, but also not too high. You don't feel like you're sat on top of the car. You still feel like you are very much as one with the car. It doesn't feel like you're just plonked on top and left to your own devices. Oh no, you are very much still cocooned in here. The driving position is fantastic. The big door mirrors absolutely make it so easy to see everything. The rear window is plenty big enough, so you've got plenty of visibility out the back as well. And we have to touch on this interior. I've mentioned it. It is different. It's funky. It's new. It's got a lot of design cues that we're seeing across the board now on a lot of BMW models, like the flat bottom steering wheel, this new steering wheel design, the brand new operating system 9 infotainment system, which is so easy to use. You've got wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay on there too. Super, super crisp, super easy to use, really lovely system to use. Air conditioning controls are gone, so if you're an owner of the previous generation X3, that is a very, very big difference. Now all the air conditioning controls, your heated seats, your steering wheel, etc., are all now on the operating system. And I know that sounds intimidating, but trust me on this, it really isn't. I'm just going to put that down because it's very bright. It's super easy to use. There's all this new design of ambient lighting all over the place. It's bold and I really like it. You've got so many colours to choose from on there as well. It's a really cool thing to look at. You've got new design to the door handles and so on. Again, we've already done an in-depth walk around, so I'm not going to go into it too much. So again, use the link in the top of the screen to go and check that one out. But I really like this interior. It's bold, different, but I really, really like it. But let's go on to the driving. It is super smooth. It's really, really lovely to drive. I mean, the roads that I'm on now are bumpy, they're potholey, they're all over the place, they're soaking wet. There's light coming bouncing off the place. It's like a mirror. But this car just, I don't know, it just suits you. It's so easy to drive on a daily basis. It handles the potholes, the undulations, the cambers that we have in this country with ease. It doesn't hit a bump and then unsettle the whole thing. It doesn't. It's just calm, collected, and it's a really, really lovely place to be and a lovely place to spend a lot of time. I imagine this car would be incredible for long distance cruises. You set your Harman Kardon sound system just right, and it'd be absolutely a joy to drive for thousands and thousands of miles. It's lovely. It feels fantastic. The suspension, as I say, is a really, really good thing. It's really managing the bumps that we have and making sure that everything is just ironed out. Really like it. The steering, nice and responsive. It's very, very light at low speeds, I noticed. BMW are doing this. I noticed it with the new 1 Series as well. The steering is super, super light at low speeds, but then it weights up really nicely as soon as you start to get a shift on. It's got really great feel through it too. You can feel that this car is super dynamic, and we'll touch on that a little bit more very shortly. But as an everyday usable car, it's perfect. You've got so much practicality in here, with over 500 litres of boot space in the rear and up to nearly 1,700 with them all down. It's huge. There's so much space in here, and it doesn't feel too big on the road as well. It is, of course, like everything, a little bit bigger than the car that came before, but it doesn't feel it. It doesn't feel like it's too big in the slightest. It feels just perfect for the road, and it's so easy to place. As I say, the steering is lovely. This 20 petrol is plenty sprightly enough. Put your foot down, it's not going to pull your teeth out, but 0 to 62 in just under 8 seconds, I think around 7.8. It's still pretty, I mean, it's still got enough power. It's got everything you need, especially with that boost from the mild hybrid system too. Around 210 horsepower in this car. And it's got plenty of power to keep you going. But other than that, I mean, I don't really know what else I can say. It's the steering's lovely, the suspension is great, it's super comfortable, these seats are outstanding. And then if you do want to drop it into sport, you click on My Modes down here, and then you can go sport. Let's just quickly have a little play. Engine sounds quite good as well. This 2 litre 4-cylinder sounds really quite good. You can immediately feel that the steering has weighted up in sport, and it's actually quite dynamic. It's got a really lovely initial turn in, and it's just, fills you with confidence. The steering responsiveness is spot on. I mean, it's so responsive the second you turn the steering wheel. It's really dynamic and really lovely actually to drive briskly when you do want to pick up the pace. But let's be honest, I don't think you're really going to want to in the 20. Not that it can't, but I suppose it's not supposed to be that, is it? This is your everyday usable car, and for that it's absolutely spot on. I think it's fantastic. I think BMW have done such a great job on this car, and I think it is a very, very worthy successor to the previous generation X3. And if you are interested in the new X3, please use the link in the description of this video to contact your nearest Sytner BMW retailer. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel for plenty more content to come, because we'll get hold of the M50 as soon as we can, and the diesel. Very intrigued by the diesel as well. But thank you ever so much for watching. Again, I will see you guys very, very soon for so much more exciting content to come.